Well, here we are. My name is Dan, and a lot of you know me already, but I'm going to help show you how to rebuild a Craftsman standard carburetor for most any large engine. And you can apply this rebuild to about any carburetor on any lawnmower. So I'm going to show you everything that you're going to need to do that. Well, some of the tools you're going to need a couple brushes. I use a stiff, stronger brush to get, the loose particles off, because, it's got some of them bigger particles on there. You want to brush that off that way. And I have a little brush for when I use my cleaner to clean the outside and the inside of the thing. I have a couple wrenches here in case I need them. 17 inch, 7/16, half inch, that kind of stuff. And I got a pair of needle nose pliers. Don't need that. I also have one of these gadgets with attachments. It's like a screwdriver with star bits, just in case I need those. So, and I got tools accessible here on my bench that I can use as I go. So let's get started. And like I said, first thing you want to do is take your stiff brush and get as much of the loose stuff off of there. In my case, I have quite a bit. You just kind of get the loose stuff off. So let's get that done. I hope you're cleaning yours. And we're doing this together. Once you get most of the loose stuff off, that's really nice. You can take a little screwdriver. I think I'll grab me a little better screwdriver. And, just kind of scrape some of the little grease and stuff off. Because, you don't want to waste your cleaner, cleaning off the big goo. Okay, just kind of mess around there and try to get it as clean as you can with the tip of the screwdriver. Just play around with it. Well, I see that some of you got ahead of me and started taking the carburetor apart. Put it back together right now. Now that we got this carburetor clean, at least somewhat, there's still a little bit of little stuff on it. But we want to keep as much as we can out of the cleaner. Otherwise, we're going to have to buy more cleaner. So I cleaned it up a little bit, and I hope you was careful with your gaskets. They're probably still attached to your carburetor. Don't mess them up. Be real careful when you're doing this. Be gentle. Have patience. If you're going to do this, you got to do it right. All right. Now I cleaned up the workbench and got the garbage off the bench because I don't want it mixing in with what I'm doing. I have a little can here with like paint thinner, and I use paint thinner. Is that the right way of doing it? Who knows? Who cares? But don't take this apart before you clean the outside. Make sure to keep that together. Because if you take that apart, then whatever you're cleaning is going to get inside here right now. And this dirt here, we don't want to do that. So you just kind of dip the brush in there and then lightly just brush the carburetor, just lightly, not real hard. Because as you're brushing, it's kind of soaking in there and working in with the grease and the grime and the dirt. And we want to do a good job. We want to look good when we're finished. It's how it looks is how we look. That's the way I always look at it. How my job looks is going to be a reflection of the type of work I do. Am I meticulous in making sure that my work is properly done and looks appropriate for who I am? And if you take your time and you do a good job, then obviously I'm going to assume that you're doing a good job because you're taking the time to make sure that you do. If you just slop it around like some people do, you're going to end up with a lousy job. You're going to tear up the carburetor, and we don't want to do that. These things are a little bit delicate. You just can't pry on them. You don't want to do none of that kind of stuff. Don't force the carburetor to do what it don't want to do. That's a big trick to this, is just being gentle, being friendly. Get to know your carburetor a little bit. Starting to shine up a little bit, right? I hope yours is too. Okay, I hope yours looks as good as mine. We got our cleaned up on the outside, looking pretty good, alright? That way we don't get no dirt on the inside or mess it up when we do it. I have not cleaned the throat, and neither have you. So just leave that alone. Don't worry about that. We're going to get to that. Right now, we're going to remove the bottom of this. So you're going to need a 1/2-inch wrench. You hook that 1/2-inch wrench on there, like that, and break that loose. Okay? You can unscrew that with your finger, which is always better, because then you know you're not messing up the threads. Now, as you can see, this thing is filthy. The whole inside of this carburetor is, I know before I look, it's a mess. And get your bowl to come loose. Yeah, and you can see down inside there, see the gum? It's like a gum. That's the gas turning into, you know, a gum. And here is the float, and how it looks. Now on this side, you'll see there's a pin right here that holds this in place. Now you want to remove that pin. That's why we have the needle nose pliers. So you just grab a hold of the end of that and pull it out nice and slow, don't tear nothing up. And you make sure you have a little box or some place to put it so it don't get lost. And you put that there. Now when you go to take this float off, you just pick it straight up. Nice and slow. Mine's gummy, it's going to be hard to get out of there. It's going to be hard to get out. But yours should not be that bad, and if it is, well, just keep working with it. It's not coming out. Now don't force it. You remember that cleaner we had? Let's go back to that cleaner. We're going to take that cleaner and we're going to put that right there where we took the pin out. We're going to put some right in there because that's where your needle valve is. And we're going to just kind of brush a little in there, and hopefully it'll loosen that needle valve up because it's gummed up in there and ain't going to work. So we got to get that out of there. It doesn't seem to want to come out on mine. I hope you're having better luck than I am. So I'm going to take this little skinny screwdriver, cheap, and I'm going to put it right up under where the pin was, right there, and just give it a little bit, just a little bit. And it still ain't coming out. I hope yours ain't this bad. But just keep working with it. Take your time. Don't force anything. We're forcing enough already. Because if you break that float, you're going to need another. You know, you're not going to break the valve, but that's why you're up on there just barely working with it. And remember, when that thing does start coming loose, and it will, just going to have to soak this a little more. Now, since I'm having this trouble, I'm going to go ahead and show you. See this? This is a gas inlet port right here. I'm going to put some of that fluid down in there, and that'll be right on that pin. So I'm going to hold that up, and I'm going to put some in there, and we're going to get that sucker loose. Well, I got her out, and I wouldn't recommend taking it out the way I did. But as you can see, the gum on that sucker is thick. And I'm going to have to clean that all up, or it ain't going to work. So I just dropped my carburetor right down in the cleaner in the hopes that that will solve my problem. Like I say, right down in the thing. It's so bad that it needs to soak a while. And I've got the bowl at an angle with a little in there, and the needle valve's in there soaking too. And this piece right here, I don't know about sticking this down in there, but I'm just going to keep dipping it. And I'm going to find a little thing to stick it in just to cover that tip up and clean that up. But yeah, we do the best we can. And you can look at your carburetor, look for that gum. If you see that gum, you know you got a bigger problem than just regular cleaning up. And that's what we're doing here. We're doing the big cleanup. This is the big one. This is the one you gotta know. Well, it was a chore, but got this sucker cleaned up. Now this should go up and down like that. You push it down, it comes back up. As long as it's doing that nice, you're doing good. Now I did not put this down in there. I dipped the tip down in there and just kept dipping it and cleaning it, dipping it and cleaning it, brushing it off. And that's about all we can do. And you remember this thing. This is our needle valve. You know, it's not quite completely done, but the majority of it is finished. And we're going to be able to use that pretty quick. We're almost done with that piece. And I also cleaned and brushed this piece, which holds your float in. I cleaned the float up. It was pretty gummy too. You can throw this in water, and as long as it floats, you know it's good. That's the main thing on that. Inside the carburetor, nice and clean. Alright. Now that's where that little valve thing I showed you goes in there. And then right there, that's where that needle valve goes, right in there. Okay. Now, I'm not done with this yet. I have an air hose and an air line. I'm going to blow this out. So I'm going to blow this port out. I'm going to blow the gas line port out right here. I'm going to blow it out with the air line. And I'm just going to generally blow this thing off, and that'll help dry it, get it prepared for going back together. And we're going to have a nice carburetor. Well, hope you like it. Looks pretty good. We're going to see how it goes back together. Now, you want to take the float right here like this. Now, as you can see, it's got the hole there, and it's got a little slot right there. Well, this goes right in that slot. Got it upside down. There's a little slot right there. It goes right in there. Just like that. Now make sure you keep that tilted back when you stick it in there, because that's how you're going to stick it in the carburetor, as I'll show you. Now you lean it towards the hole and get that needle valve in the hole, and then set your carburetor down in there, making sure that needle valve is down inside that hole. Now you grab your little rod, which you cleaned up, and you stick it to the side here. Line your float up with the hole and push it all the way through till it's about the same sticking out on both sides. Now that's going to hold your float in place. Now we're ready to take the ball and sit it right on there. Take your time sitting on there, and make sure it's even all the way around so that it's sealed so that it won't leak on you. Alright, then we take this piece, which we cleaned up earlier, and we stick it right down in there. Now start this thing gently. It shouldn't be hard to turn all the way down until it's tight. And take the wrench, the 1/2 inch wrench that you use to take it off, and put it on there and just snug it. Not a lot of power here. I mean, you don't want to really pull, just barely till it's snug. You'll feel it tighten up. And that's when you got her sealed up. And there you have it. Now all you have to do is put it back on. You put her on right, and you'll have a running lawnmower. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions or need to know any more, just give me a call or send me a note. And make sure to comment on this video if it helps you, which I'm sure it did. And thank you for stopping by. Check out our other videos. We might help you fix the rest of your lawnmower. Pretty cool, right?